It didn't show strong differences. It showed very small statistical differences, and it said nothing about them being hardwired, meaning that these are innately present from birth. So it's just, there's just this readiness in the popular culture to presume that if we see a sex difference in the brain, it proves that this is all immutable, unchangeable, and we're fighting nature to try to presume equality in our different spheres of life. We got to talk numbers, because that's part of the problem. Is people talk about this, brain structure is bigger than that, this circuit is more connected than that, but nobody ever says how much more. And it turns out that yes, there are sex differences in the brain, but they're tend to be quite small and just at a statistical level. And so to understand that, to understand any type of group difference, you have to use a number called an effect size, or a D value, which is simply the difference of two means. Here we have a mean of females and males measuring height, okay? Measure 100 females, 100 males, of course. They distribute differently. Men are taller than women. And we calculate this difference, which is the difference of the means divided by the spread of the curve, or the standard deviation. And a D value of 2.6 is considered a very large sex difference. And contrast that to most sex differences in behavior, which psychologists have been studying for 50, 60 years, that are much more of this magnitude. The difference in, quote, empathy, this is actually one's ability to recognize emotional expression from photographs. You can detect differences between adult men and women, much, much smaller differences between young children, but it's quite small and on the order of a third of a standard deviation. So this has been looked at extensively by Janet Hyde, who's a psychologist at University of Wisconsin-Madison, and she had been accumulating all these meta-analyses, that's studies of studies that put all the data together on sex difference, and kept finding these very small differences, and appreciated that rather than the gender differences, what we're really looking at is fundamentally the hypothesis, this radical hypothesis that the genders are fundamentally the same. And the data for that come from the fact that out of 124 meta-analyses, so we're talking about millions of research subjects here, a meta-analysis of meta-analyses, about 3/4 or 78% of these differences are smaller than what you see on this curve here. So rather than Mars and Venus, a better slogan might be that men are from North Dakota and women are from South Dakota.